Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video, man. In this one, we have some massive news because I know that there's been a lot of negativity going on and a lot of attention has been on that. But one thing that people are missing out on is the fact that this is really becoming mass adopted. We're getting there. We're getting to that point, and I just want to put it into perspective a little bit for some people, because I know it can be easy to fall into the trap of thinking that, oh, it's just bots on the platform, is this, is that. But things are really changing, and it's changing fast, and I think you're going to enjoy this. So before we jump into it, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything going on. And yeah, let's jump into it. So first order of news is Andrei Jikh. He was one of the first big YouTubers to actually openly invest in Ecomi. He invested into the Omi token, and it was down for a long time, but now it's starting to go back up. I think he's still down in his investment. I think he invested 250K. He's only back up to 119K. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still down for him. But the thing is, he didn't dollar cost average. So, I mean, he's beginning, I guess he was beginning when he got into this crypto side of things, but yeah, or this token in general. So it went down. He's posting about it again, probably because it's been going crazy. The token is back up. And then he also announced that he actually bought his first NFT. So not only is he into the token now, he's now investing in NFTs. And I think that this is like, it seems to be the natural progression when it comes down to VeVe, because that's the exact same way it happened for me. I invested into the Omi token as soon as I saw VeVe, saw what it was, saw what it was about, and understood the vision and where they was talking about going. I heard about Ready Player One, saw Al Khan was involved, talking about Walmart and all types of stuff like this, Disney World. Once you hear all these things, it's a no-brainer to invest in as far as the Omi token is concerned. But then you get addicted to the VeVe side of things as well. And it looks like that's what Andrei has just gotten into as well. Like, he has literally just took his first step into becoming addicted to VeVe. And that being said, I think this is huge for the community, because obviously he has a ton of influence and he can bring a lot more investors into the space. So it's going to be exciting to see how much he loves the platform, how much he starts to enjoy it, and if he's going to stick around and be actively uploading a video here and there, constantly letting people know about this investment. Because yeah, I think it just happens. It happens naturally and organically once you get into this community. You eventually invest in an NFT, even if you weren't buying them, and then you just fall in love with the community and being an active part in it. So yeah, that being said, this just happened. This happened, and then also I wanted to show you all something else here. So check it out. Look at this YouTuber. Shout out to Sleeping Comics. Check this out. So he's making a video called "What is NFT's First Appearance?" Now, what's special about this is not just the fact that this is a YouTuber who's coming into the community, and a comic YouTuber who's coming into the community, but what this represents. So the biggest thing here that people have been concerned about is converting comic lovers and things like that into VeVe. How are they going to feel about this? Because every time we go to the Marvel group chats and stuff like that on Facebook, these guys are always talking down on, oh, we don't want to see no NFTs. Like every time Marvel posts, you see a bunch of Marvel fans talking about, oh, we don't want to see this, we don't want that. Like, and it's honestly, as far as Marvel goes in the NFT space, well, when it comes down to their audience and how their audience is responding to NFTs, it's usually negative. But this YouTuber actually been in this community represents progression, because if more real comic collectors and more collectors are actually coming into the platform, understanding the vision, he's not just seeing this as, okay, I have the real comics, why would I invest in these freaking online JPEGs? Like, he's not seeing it like that. So this means that more adoption is happening. People are starting to become more open to the NFT space. And the more people like him we get on board, the more people are going to start feeling comfortable about the fact that, okay, this is really going to transfer over. And I've seen it work both ways, by the way. This guy is a comic collector, and it looks like he came over to VeVe NFTs, but also I have a homie who literally, like, Henry, I have a homie named Henry, and he literally started off with VeVe and investing in NFTs, and then he has just gone over into comics and he's dominating and investing in comics as well. So it is like a two-way street, and I think this two-way street is starting to become more apparent. You have a guy like David Yu, he has this vision, he sees it, he believes in it, and way before anybody else can really understand if it's going to happen, if NFTs is going to boom, if these industries will complement each other and stuff like that, he sees this vision, and then it's happening exactly as he said it would. It's happening exactly as it said is. Well, he's an example, and my homie's an example. And this is what I think is important. It's important the fact that these communities are not only coexisting, but they're good for each other. Like they're boosting each other. So let's check this out. I want you all to check out my homie here. Check him out for sure, because this is great. Like the best part about having people like this come into the community is that these are people from the comic world. So their mindsets and their thoughts when it comes to some of our collectibles is way more impactful when they say some of these things, because it's coming from a place where you've been in this world, you understand how you think, you know how some of your friends in this space will think and things like that. So the things that they say, especially when it comes down to giving us insights about, for instance, what is a NFT's first appearance, he's going to have insights from a perspective of understanding the comic book side of things. So yeah, we're going to check this out. Let me know y'all thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Be sure to check out his channel if you all do enjoy the part of the video that I'll show you here. So let's jump into it.
Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. Today I wanted to specifically talk about these comic book NFTs. A number of them have come out. Amazing Spider-Man #1.
I just want to point out, look at all this in the background. You can tell like he's a serious collector here, man. Serious collector. And it's beautiful seeing this. It's beautiful seeing this. Like it's hard to doubt VeVe at this point. And I honestly think that Andrei, you know that he's cautious. He's very cautious. Then you have the comic book community coming. It's like we have so many signs and signals that people are really starting to get it. And this is great. And that is possible for people to get it, because now you don't have to have a bunch of NFT people trying to convert comic fans over. You have actual comic fans who can speak their language. So it's like the team, like people don't have to come up and like basically learn how to speak a foreign language. You have people who speak the same language as the comic book fans, who's speaking a language for them and to them. So I think that this is great.
Journey into Mystery 85, so a lot of different ones. X-Men #4. And this week, Thanos 13, which is this one here, the first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, a Donny Cates book. I'm a fan. This is the cover A, and this is the 1 in 25 Albuquerque variant, which is very hard to find. I know some of the people who are watching some of my videos now aren't as familiar with physical comics. I know that because I've got a lot of messages, people asking me if these are actually NFTs that have been graded. So it's kind of interesting. This whole phenomenon is causing a lot of, I think, confusion in the marketplace. So, but these are expensive. I'll just let you know, these are expensive comics. Like this comic is, if you were to buy it off of eBay or something like that, it's probably worth around $1,000 and is a very rare one. So let's talk specifically about Thanos 13. And I'm just going to go through and talk about some of the messages that I have gotten on Instagram. And I think it's something different. So let me just get into it. Okay, so as a comic book guy, I say, okay, Thanos 13, first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, even says it up here, CGC says it. And who is Frank Castle? So sorry if you didn't know that, I just ruined it for you. The Punisher. And in the physical comic book world, everybody thinks about this book. It's a low print run, and that's why this book is probably worth, I'm not sure, $200, I'll guess, okay? But in talking to a lot of people who are collecting NFTs, and they are really into collecting these comic book NFTs, but they know nothing about comic books. They have said to me in messages, or I have seen on their YouTube channels, them repeatedly say, this is the first appearance of Thanos. Now, of course, what they mean is first appearance of Thanos in a comic as an NFT. But it makes my mind think, because once again, as we know as comic book collectors, it isn't necessarily what we think is correct. It's what the marketplace dictates. And so, is this going to be a valuable NFT because everybody sees it as the first NFT involving Thanos? Now, it's not one of those collectibles or models with Thanos, which obviously when that one comes out, I think it will be valuable. But, it is interesting, right? So how is the majority of the world, or the NFT world, going to view this digital comic? And that's why I'm saying this is almost like a different deal. It's almost like, you know, when we talk about first appearances, which I think as collectors, and I think will translate to the NFT world, that first appearances are going to matter. Is this going to be considered a double key? Like it's the first appearance of Thanos and the first appearance of Cosmic Ghost Rider. So I don't know. These are weird things. So like when you go into Key Collector, is it going to say this is the first NFT appearance and this is the first comic appearance? It's going to actually have two different ways we think about it. I mean, these are things that I don't think we know.
See, so the thing that I like about this is the fact that it seems like he's just as everyone's trying to wrap their head around this new space that's being built before our eyes. And when it comes down to me and my views, I feel like when it comes down to the comics that I go after and the comics that I feel are valuable, I model it based around the real world, based around what's going on in the real world. So some of the like Fantastic Four and things like that, Fantastic Four #1, and because I know how valuable that is. That's insane. I think that's sold for like millions or something like that. So to have a comic like that, I feel like it's going to be valuable in NFT format, obviously, because its counterpart in the real world is going to be based off of that. And this is meant to, I feel like VeVe is almost meant to be an extension or an addition to the real world, not overtaken and say, okay, that's valuable in the real world. No, okay, this is going to be the one valuable over here. I don't think it was meant to do that. I think it's meant to be like, okay, because this is valuable in the real world, this is valuable in an NFT form as well. But I will say, I do think it's going to be possible for some NFTs to become more valuable, because more valuable than some of the real life versions of them. And the reason that I feel this way is that you look at the NFT space as a whole and look at what people are actually buying things for, selling and buying things for. You see some outrageous and crazy pricing when it comes down to NFTs. People will pay for that true ownership. People will pay for that. They'll pay top dollar for it. And when it comes down to some of the other stuff that you can buy, and then like people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for stuff that's not as good as a Marvel comic, as a Marvel first appearance. Like as these really, really valuable comics, people are buying stuff that's worse for crazy amounts of money. So will they pay for like this Thanos? Would they be willing to pay more than $200 for this Thanos? Obviously, I feel like that's a no-brainer, that people will be willing to pay much more for this in an NFT format than maybe they do in the physical world. But it's interesting. It's interesting to think about how this is going to change things, how these two industries are going to impact each other. I feel like regardless of exactly how they're impacted, I feel like it's going to be great for both industries. But you do have to wonder what's going to happen, what's the standards going to be, what's going to set the standards, how, like, it's just so many things to consider. And I love it. I love to hear about it. I love to talk about it. It's great. It's a great topic of conversation.
I certainly don't know. I never would have thought of that, but it is interesting. So, of course, that brings me to the other one, which dropped just today. I'm filming this late Tuesday. And that is this one here, which is Ultimate Fallout 4. We, as comic book collectors, are familiar with this book. In the physical world, this is an expensive book, signed and everything in a 9.8. It's probably worth, maybe 4K. Now, they released 21,000 NFTs, and they had this cover as the common, which is kind of like the cover A equivalent. And they did have, and I'm going to brutalize this name, the 1 in 25 Djevic. I'll put a picture up here. I do not have that one, but in the physical world, that is a very rare book. I looked. There's all grades, 600 on the census, and I think if you have like a 9.8, I mean, it might go for tens of thousands of dollars. It might go for like $30,000, $40,000. I'm not sure about that, but it is an expensive book.
Yeah.
It is considered a secret rare in the NFT world.
And that's crazy. So I think that would make this a more expensive book than like, what was the price you just said? I think that this would make this more expensive in NFT format, right? I haven't actually looked at the platform actually. So what is this worth right now? Is this more valuable as an NFT or in the real world? Let me know in the comment section. Because yeah, I didn't find a lot about this one in particular. I thought that it was a newer one. Yeah, 2011. It's newer than a lot of the other ones, of course.
That cover, and they only made 600 of them. And I looked, and they were selling for about 1,500 gems or $1,500 in the NFT world. Once again, now we're in an interesting. So this would be considered obviously the first appearance of Miles Morales in the comic book world, but is it the first appearance of Miles Morales in the NFT world? I probably think so. So will that, I'm going to say it again, Djevic or secret rare cover follow what has been done in the real world, where that cover just exploded? So that cover, like I said, in the real world, that cover, that comic is worth, whatever, $20,000 plus. I don't exactly have the numbers here.
Okay, so yeah, the VV's version definitely ain't beating that. But honestly, because it's the first NFT, that means that it's going to be even more valuable than the real world version. One, because it's the same comic and it's scarce, but two, because it's one of the first in the NFT space, and the NFT space by itself still comes with its own value. So is it going to have the real world value for the comic? And on top of that, is it going to have the NFT value of the comic? It's going to be interesting to see how these things turn out, because it could just mirror the real world, or it could have the real world value and the NFT value, which boosts a lot of these even past the traditional the real world. So I mean, great conversation, great conversation to have.
Will the NFT follow that? I don't know. But what is interesting in talking to a couple people that I've met through Instagram that are unfamiliar with these books, that secret rare cover, they don't understand or didn't understand how rare it was in the physical world, because they were releasing secret rares of every version of the comic. They didn't understand that that specific cover has real value in the real world. Once again, does it matter? We don't know. It's all, I think, on the table now, and it'll be interesting to find out.
And it's great being educated by someone in his position. So it's like the education, because this shows you how much David knows, how much he actually understands. And obviously we know he's a collector, but I think a lot of people underestimate just how strong his collector's knowledge is, because he's thinking ahead like, okay, this is super valuable in the real world. He just throws a secret rare comic on it, slap the tag on it, and people just think that this is a VeVe secret rare, and in reality, in the world, that it really is secret rare. So it's a situation where you have a visionary leading this charge, doing things that people have yet to even understand. I think we just love it because it's on VeVe, but we don't even understand what it actually means in the real world. We just simply understand what it means on VeVe. But to somebody coming from the real world, it means that too, but potentially more. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. A lot of moving parts.
So that's what I got for you guys today. I am trying to put together, like I said, I'm trying to figure out the format of how to present some of this pricing, because I want to bring it to you
Okay, so it looks like he's going to be doing a pricing video. So be sure to subscribe to him if you want more information about all of this stuff. This is a channel that I'm going to be watching a lot more moving forward. Just wanted to bring it to you all because I thought that this was a very important video, and it gives you a different perspective and a different outlook of just how little everyone actually knows. So it's amazing. It's amazing the fact that he's diving in and we have more people actually interested in the NFT space. I'm excited for what the future holds. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out, y'all.